Hello, YouTubes. What is up? It's your girl, Trisha, your pattern nerd friend. As you've probably seen from some of my videos, if you've landed on my channel before, I am coming to you live from the Fitabulous Fit Bootcamp lead up. If you're like, what are you talking about, Trish? So twice a year, my company, my business, throws a limited time fitting boot camp. It's 5 days learning how to fit absolutely free. Everything is free. And I walk you through my 5-step fitting process, the CCA system, and teach you how to fit for any garment, for any body. So it's not just relying on standard adjustments or a particular garment or a particular gender, even. These are skills that I learned and used during still use during my 20 plus year long career working in theatrical. Oh my gosh, my words just escaped me. Big theatrical productions like Cirque du Soleil, Blue Band, Disney, Broadway shows. Those were all my clients. So that is where I developed this system. So it's a little bit different than how they kind of explain how to do fittings in the home sewing world. We all know that the fashion industry doesn't really teach you about fitting. So I felt like this was something that could be really helpful and handy to a lot of people, which is why we're offering it for free. But it is only available for a limited time. So if fitting is something that you struggle with in your sewing journey, because it's the number one thing that I hear about from students. So for those of you who don't know me, I teach pattern making. And for those of you who aren't aware, pattern making helps you with fitting, because essentially when you're making fitting adjustments, you are making pattern adjustments, even if you are still just doing it on the garment. So the more you understand about pattern making, the easier fitting, or the more sense fitting makes. So I thought, I like to share and teach people about pattern making because, first of all, it helps with fitting, but it just opens up so many doors. It really makes it so that you can make anything that you could imagine. And so that's why I call myself your pattern nerd friend, because I'm a huge, huge nerd about pattern making. And I think everybody should learn it. But I know that the number one thing is not everybody wants to make patterns from scratch. I get that. And honestly, I rarely make patterns from scratch myself, being a pattern nerd and all. But Fitting is something that every single person, for the most part, struggles with, even if you don't sew. And because ready-to-wear clothing doesn't fit either, right? Like, that is the annoying thing. So you turn to sewing to take control of that, to take your power back in that, and then sewing patterns kind of leave you in the same result. So how do you learn what adjustments work for your body? How do you know where to take things in, let things out? And that's exactly what we dive into in the Fitabulous Fit. We have to say it right. Fitabulous Fit Bootcamp. And because this is a hard skill to learn for a lot of people, and to be honest, it's kind of a complicated skill for me to teach, because every single person has a beautiful, wonderfully unique body. So standard adjustments aren't standard across the board. And you need to have an intuitive way of knowing when you see this, you do this, or what is the order of things that I'm looking at, because sometimes that will make the fitting make more sense or not. So that's what we go through in the boot camp. Is I'm sharing this process with you, but I know it's scary. I know it's hard to learn new things, and especially something like this, which is a kind of a complicated concept to grasp. So let's throw a party. Let's have fun while we're learning. So what we do during these boot camps is we get everyone together. We do have a Facebook community group, which you don't have to participate in, although I will say it's a lot more fun if you do. The training videos are all emailed to your email each morning of the boot camp. So the boot camp stops, and that's why I'm coming live to you today, because the boot camp starts on this coming Monday, September 15th. So we have the welcome party on Sunday. It's not too late to join. You haven't missed any of the festivities yet. But even if you're seeing this video after the 15th, you can still join us as long as we're still running the boot camp. We do run the boot camp the 15th through the 19th. So Monday through Friday next week, every day you'll get a new training video. And we also do a live Q&A session every day at 3 p.m. Eastern. You don't have to come to the live. There are replays. But every single day we do a live Q&A so that you have support going through this training that you're doing. And we have the community in the group. So there's thousands, and I'm not exaggerating, thousands of people who love to sew, who are also in the same position that you might be in, where they love to sew. They've been sewing for years. Things used to fit. Now they don't. They don't know where to start with fitting. They're feeling intimidated by the whole process. So you get to kind of just bond with other people who get it, who understand how exciting it is when you do make something and it's like, oh my God, it fits perfect, right? Or you set that invisible zipper and it worked amazingly. And you get to connect with all these other people while you're going through this process. There's prizes to win. There's just so much fun to be had while you're learning this superpower. And the reason we do that is because I want you to learn this. I feel like everybody should learn this. So I offer for free. We have a lot of fun. We do prizes. The prizes are to motivate you to actually go through and learn all the stuff. Plus, you can win cool prizes. And you join in the community with all of these other people who are also going through it so that we can uplift each other. We can support one another as we are trying to learn this complicated task. I have put the link to join us down below. Once again, it is completely free. There is absolutely nothing to lose. I promise you it's free. You won't have to enter any kind of payment information to join us at any part of this. I feel like it is my mission to share what has become second nature to me in my career with those of you who this may be a whole new world to you. And I really, really want to help you out. So we've got a couple of my students here joining me live. Sandra, you make the skill of fitting easy to learn. This boot camp is an awesome way to start learning this complicated skill. Yes, because if it's hard and it's frustrating, you're not going to want to learn it, right? So I have, made it my mission to be like, how can we make this fun? How can we make it so that by the end of this boot camp, you are going to prove to yourself that you can learn this. You can do this. You can do a fitting and end up with a result that fits better than what you started with. Jules is here as well. And she says, so amazing. Those are some of my students. And I think Sandra says this is the 5th boot camp that she'll be joining us for. So yes, we have done this several times. That's why I keep bringing it back. It's always a huge success. People always have such a great time and don't want it to end when it's over. But the reason that we keep it for a limited time is because I can't keep a party going for that long, right? There is a way to continually get access to this and even more that will come up at the end of the week if you want to keep going on this journey. But if you just come for the free part and the party, that's cool too. We will welcome you with open arms and can't wait to share all of this with you. And I do want to say I've been doing, because this is our, I need to go back and look at how many of these I have done. I want to say it's like our 6th or 7th one. But I have, so the training, let me explain. Hello words. Let me know. The chat is open. If you're coming across this and you're like, what? Free fitting boot camp. How do I get in? What do I need to know? Tell me, ask me all the questions. That's why I'm here live. I'm jumping on because it's Friday. We start Sunday. We kick off Monday. I want to make sure you hear about this. Share this with your friends. If you're already signed up and you're like, I'm in, I'm coming. I did have a lady DM me on Instagram the other day. And she was like, I'm signed up. I sent it to 2 of my other friends and I signed up for the pant fitting class. There's also going to be a free pant fitting class and a skirt fitting class, which will come up the following week. So like I said, tons and tons of free knowledge for you to soak up and just take advantage of it while it's available, because we'll only be having, so there are replays. Okay, hold on. Hello. Can you tell I'm excited? There's a lot of things going on in my brain. Let's start at the beginning. So the boot camp runs absolutely for free. It's all virtual, by the way. It runs from Monday the September 15th, so this coming Monday, till Friday, September 19th. We do have an official welcome party that we will host on Sunday. So this coming up Sunday, the 14th, and that is happening at 3 p.m. Eastern on Zoom. So if you join before then, you can join us in the welcome party. That's a big kickoff. We just celebrate, have something fun to drink. I'll tell you all the details of how it's going to work. I'll tell you a little bit about that right now. So how this is going to work every day. Oh, and I do want to say that the replays and everything that goes along with the boot camp, you have access until September 26th. So the following Friday. So 2 full weeks, you have access to all of this content. And in the meantime, we're going to have an additional free skirt fitting class and a free pant fitting class. So how this works is every day, starting Monday through Friday, you get an email from me, from my team, at 10 a.m. Eastern. That email has a link to a pre-recorded training for the day. So every day you're going to get a pre-recorded training every day for you to watch in your own time. So you don't need to be sitting at your email at 10 a.m. Eastern to get that training, but you will have it in your inbox at that time to watch when it fits into your day, because I get it. People work, people have kids, people have a life, and we have people joining us from all over the world. I just saw that we have a lot of friends in there from the UK, which we always have. We have people coming from Canada, Australia, all over the US, Hawaii. We always have a few from South America, and it's just so finding a time that works for everyone. I get it. But 10 a.m., you get a training video and all the extra things. There's actually a bonus PDF that explains everything that we do in the training video. You'll have a little bit of homework. It's usually very easy stuff. And then at 3 p.m. Eastern every day we have a live Q&A session. So every day you get the training, so you can watch that in your own time whenever it fits into your day. And then you can join us at 3 p.m. Eastern live. We do that on Zoom. So you can join us live on Zoom to get any questions answered. It could be about the curriculum that we're talking about fitting in general, how to apply this in different ways. Usually we end up talking about the training, what I've done, but even if you don't watch the training, you can still join us for the live. There are replays to the live, and you can ask questions. If you can't join us for the live, there's a place for you to put questions for me to answer in the live, and then the replay will be posted later. So we try to make this as accessible to as many people as possible, because I get it. Life takes over. So that schedule is every day, Monday through Friday, the 15th through the 19th. And then we have the community group just open today. So we host our community group on Facebook. I know it's not everybody's favorite place to be, but it's easy, and most people know how to operate Facebook and where to get around and everything. So we just opened our group today. You do not have to participate in the Facebook group. You do not, because I know some people are very against Facebook, and believe me, I get it. I understand, but it's just the best place for us to host a community. The thing is, we have a lot of fun in that group. That is where you can connect with other people who are also going through the boot camp, kind of learn other people's stories. I've had people create their own groups that they've continued on after the boot camp to support each other in their fitting endeavors and everything. And then you can, be going through this boot camp and learning about this fitting, this superpower with all your new friends, and we're sharing about what things we've sewn in the past and what our sewing journey was. It's so much fun. And there's, opportunity to win prizes like a little dress form or some of my favorite books or, free slopers and things like that. So we just really, the whole way to go into it is we're taking bite-sized steps to learning this superpower, having fun along the way. And by the end of that week, you will prove to yourself that you can do this. You will have more confidence going into your next fitting, whether it's for yourself, your clients, for work, and you'll have a system that I have proven works. It's to simplify fitting and have it just really make sense for you. So, and I do say a common question that comes up is this also for menswear as well as women's wear. What I want to tell you about that is that this is what we learn in the boot camp is the process of how to do a fitting. So we do walk through an example throughout the week so that you can put this process into action so that you're actually doing all the steps. And the example that we're using is a female pattern, but the process that you are learning is adaptable for any body, any garment. So I'm just showing you with a female pattern just because we usually start with a female pattern, just to be completely honest, because the female shape is often harder to fit than the male shape. Not in every case, of course, but because of the bust. Because of the bust, we have more curves, more rounds. So there's more to fit around. So generally, when you start learning pattern making and learning fitting, we start with the female shape, the female body pattern. But that just means that you're learning kind of a harder way so that if you want to adapt it to menswear later, it's going to still the same steps, still the same things that you're looking at. It's just going to probably be easier because you're not going to have those additional mounds and shapes to shape around. So yes, it will also work if you are looking to fit menswear as well. Like I said, we're focusing on the process of how fitting works and what you're looking at, what order to do things. And the number one thing I think is super valuable about the boot camp and the process that I'm teaching is, what do you do with the information that you find in the fitting? How do you know what adjustments to make back to your garment or to your pattern? Like, how do you transfer that information? That seems to be the key part that a lot of people, lose that step. How do you do that? And I have a very unique way of how I teach that, which makes it really, really simple. It's a method that I learned early on in my career, long time ago. And so it's a little bit strange to a lot of people, especially if you've been learning fitting through a lot of the home sewing places, but it really just makes it super, super easy to transfer all of that information from your fitting to your pattern. So I cover you from A to Z. Like, where do we start and what do we do in the fitting and how do we get that information back so that at the end, step number 5 that I teach you is so that you are cutting out your projects with confidence, or you know exactly what to do to alter your final garment if you are working with final garments. So it's mainly focused on the process if you are going to sew your own clothing. But the third step, where we actually really get into the fitting, we focus on the process of how to do a fitting. So if you're wanting to just fit ready to wear clothes that already exist, or you're an upcycler and you want to know how to take something that's already a garment and turn it into something else, this will still benefit you. Like I said, it's like a process. It's like learning the rules so you know where to break them, kind of thing, that can be applied to anything. And the way that we do it, it's not super overwhelming. We're taking small little steps and you're doing it along with me. So you're proving to yourself that you can actually do this. And that is my favorite thing, because when I see, whenever I've run this before, it just never, ever, ever gets old. The people who say, oh my gosh, I finally get it. This has changed my life. Like light bulbs, aha moments, game changers, what I hear all the time. I now feel more confident. I know what to do. And that is the mission that I am on, to spread this knowledge to everybody, because I truly feel like everyone deserves to learn these skills. This shouldn't be something that's gatekept. This shouldn't be something that only certain people know, that should take forever to learn. No, everyone should know this stuff. And that's why we offer this for free. So I really hope that you will join us. Once again, that link is down below. Fitabulous Fit Bootcamp, so you can learn how to get your fitabulous fit and look fitabulous. Yes, I did make up that word, and because it's fun and it's silly and it's fun, and we can enjoy and laugh and have a good time while we're learning the superpower. So we want to keep learning the superpower, right? Because how many times are you sitting in your sewing room, frustrated by yourself, not sure, you're like, this doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. How do I fix it? What do I do? And we're there by ourselves. Sewing is oftentimes, for most of us, a solitary hobby that we do. And so it's hard to find help, answers, camaraderie when you are trying to figure this all out by yourself. So that's what the cool thing about the whole community is that goes along with this boot camp, is that you suddenly realize you're not alone. There is a lot of us out there who are all going through this. And then we can learn how to find these solutions together and help each other out, because community is so important, especially now. Sandra's saying, I cannot adequately express how life-changing this knowledge has been for me. My relationship with clothing has changed so much due to this boot camp. You have nothing to lose by giving it a try. And that's the thing. I often have people ask me, why are you offering this for free? Is it really free? Like, they're skeptical, because I know everything is expensive nowadays. But the reason I do it is I do have paid offers, and I do have other things that, I do charge for my time. But the thing is, I want to offer something that can help everyone. My thing is, I want these skills to be accessible to everyone. So I do offer this for free. And I've had some people at the end of this boot camp say, oh my gosh, I feel bad that, I've taken all that, I've learned so much. I want to compliment, they want to pay me in some way. And I'm like, you don't need to pay me for the boot camp. But if we do want to go down further down the rabbit hole, which a lot of people do want to do, then we talk about that later. But even if you just take the boot camp and try it out for free, I promise there will be value that you walk away with that should, that's the point, hopefully help you in your next fitting. And I just want this to be something that I find so limited information available about fitting. Like, I think about where I learned fitting. I learned fitting and how to do fitting and how this whole process, I learned it on the job. I learned it because I had to. There's no, oh, this doesn't fit, I'm going to throw it in a pile in the corner of my room. I don't have that option when I'm working for a show and I have a performer naked standing in front of me and they need to be on stage. Like, I have to come up with a solution. So it was like kind of trial by fire. I don't want that to happen to you, but it kind of helped me to form this system that I'm using. And so I learned by watching other people do fittings. I learned by being in fittings. I learned by, I just sheerly had to do something. And I kind of found a path, and through pattern making, this all helped me. So that is why I want to share this with you. And I hear it a lot of times, how people, have gone through whole fashion programs. They have a fashion degree, spent thousands and thousands of dollars. And yes, they might be able to make any design they want for their mannequin, but they can't actually fit anything to a real body. The reason for that is the fashion industry. And this is why ready-to-wear clothing doesn't fit the majority of people. The fashion industry does not focus on fitting and contouring things to one unique individual. They concentrate on making mass production, making various sizes, yes, but set up for standard measurements, standard adjustments. Whereas in theater, working as a theater professional, making costumes, we were customizing each costume, each garment to each person. So we did a lot more focus on fitting. And of course, like if you're doing couture and things like that, then you're going to learn fitting. But so if you go and get a fashion degree, there's no guarantee that you're going to really understand how to fit something at the end of that. So then you turn to books, or you turn to like home sewing. There's a lot of standard adjustments, and a lot of those are helpful. I will agree with that. But the one thing I don't love about standard adjustments and honestly, I hadn't even heard of these standard adjustments until I came into the online sewing world and was working more with home sewers and people who are more sewing at home. I guess the same thing. Anyway, I had never heard of these standard adjustments, the round shoulder, forward shoulder, low butt, full belly. I had never heard of any of these adjustments until I came into this space. That's not how I learned to do fitting. I understand what the industry is trying to do. We're trying to say, if you have this problem that shows up, this is the adjustment that needs to happen. The thing I don't like about these standard adjustments is their name. Oh, I have round shoulders, so I always have to do a round shoulder adjustment. Oh, I have a full belly, so I always have to do a full belly adjustment to every pattern that I try. And the reason I don't like that is because fitting is basically taking a microscope and like zoning in and hyper focusing on what is wrong with the garment. But what these names of these standard adjustments makes you feel like it's your body that is the problem. Well, I have rounded shoulders. Well, I have a full belly. So I have to do this, that, and the other. It is never, and I want to put this, and this is something is a common theme, or not a common theme. This is a theme that you will hear throughout the boot camp. It is never, ever, ever your body that is the problem. You are perfect. You are exactly, uniquely, beautifully perfect. And that's, I mean, it's really a hard ask to have sewing patterns fit every single person, or have even garments in the stores fit every single person, because we're all uniquely different. We all have different shapes and sizes. And even if we have the same measurements, it could be distributed differently. So it's really like they can't make a pattern that fits every single person that exists. It would be impossible. So I really want to reinforce that. It's so often that people come to me frustrated with fitting, thinking that it's their body that needs to change. And that's why I don't love those standard adjustments, because it puts a negative spin on what's actually happening here. What's actually happening when your pattern doesn't fit, when your garment doesn't fit, is that pattern needs to be adjusted to fit your body, which is more common than it working straight out the gate. If you have to adjust your pattern, then you are in the majority of people. There is a very small amount of people that can take a pattern, unless it's a very boxy, unfitted pattern, of course, and sew it up exactly as it is, and it's going to fit perfectly. Like, I don't even know if that's ever happened to me personally in my life. Like, I always have to make some sort of adjustment. So the fact that we're making the body feel like it's the problem is what I don't like about these standard adjustments. So in the boot camp, we talk about, so how do you identify these adjustments? And honestly, it's such a simple rule. It's all boils down to one basic principle, is how, the major gist of it. And that's what I teach you in the boot camp. And once you understand that one rule, that one principle, that's what you take into your fitting, and it applies to everything. And it's just moving fabric around and making those adjustments that need to work on your body. It's a much more intuitive way. And if you are a hater of math, if you're like, oh, I just hate doing pattern making, I hate doing adjustments because I'm not good at math, I get frustrated, I get lost, we almost like avoid math because I know that's something that holds people back. But the methods that I'm teaching you in this boot camp are more intuitive. It's almost more like draping. I know a lot of people are more kind of drawn to draping over pattern making because it's less scary. It's less like formulas and math. And I get that. So it's kind of like what I teach in my fitting method is a combination of starting with a pattern and setting yourself up for the best success, doing a fitting, and basically draping on the body, like moving that fabric around to get the shape that you're trying to get the fit that you need, and teaching you with some extra bonus rules that will help you so that you know what to do. And it's very simple. So if you struggle with math and you're like, oh, this is going to be hard because I'm not good at math, don't worry. Like, I take a lot of precautions in making it so that that is not something that holds you back, because I know that that is a struggle for a lot of people. If you love math, there are a few of you out there, then this is going to be a piece of cake. And then you can use that to actually help you, go through the process. There is always a little bit of math in sewing, you guys. I mean, but we're talking like, adding inches together, dividing, like basic stuff, not like crazy, and the same basic measurements, 1 inch, 2 inch, inch and a half inch, quarter inch, all the basic measurements that we use all the time. So I really, really am mindful of that, because again, I really, really, really want you to learn this skill. I feel like it's a skill that everybody should have. You should feel empowered in your clothes. It's something I'm super passionate about. It's why I come on here and embarrass myself and talk all silly and trip over my words and record videos for you so that you can learn this stuff, because I feel like the more of us who feel empowered, that's going to change the world. You deserve to wear clothes that make you feel good, that make you feel like it is an expression of who you are. And if you can't find that in the stores, if you can't figure out how to find a pattern that fits you, I want to give you this power. And it's really not as hard as you think. It's not as hard as it's been made out to be by the rest of the world. And I want to prove it to you so that we can have a big old party and learn these powerful skills with friends, making friends. So you're not doing it by yourself, because I'm trying to take every little thing that I can do to encourage you to go through this, to learn these skills, to take advantage of this opportunity so that you can take it into your sewing journey and run with it. Like, my favorite thing is to see what you do with these skills. It's that's my reward. Sandra again says the community is so inclusive, diverse, and safe. It's completely positive. Our bodies aren't the problem. Learning to feed our uniqueness is such a superpower. Absolutely. And that is something I am very adamant about. Inclusivity. And this is why, again, I say that I'm a pattern nerd, because through the knowledge of pattern making, the world is your oyster. It is inclusive for everyone. It changes the game. You are no longer limited by what you can find out there that works, or keep trying things and you only have this one pattern that works and that's it. And that's the only pattern you can ever make. No, like, let me help open your eyes and, learn to love yourself, love your body, appreciate your body, and work with it, and emphasize those things that you really like about it, and feel comfortable. It's all about comfort, because if you're uncomfortable in your clothes, that's going to affect your day. You're going to be frustrated, upset. So that's what the boot camp's all about. I could talk about this all day. Do we have any questions? I see a few of you guys have joined me here. I'm going to jump off here in a little bit. Again, I'm talking about the Fitabulous Fit Bootcamp. We start on Monday. It's absolutely free. 5-day fitting boot camp, teaching you how to do a fitting, what order to do a fitting, giving you resources that you can use to take into your next fitting for yourself, for others, for your career, so that you feel confident and you're going to know exactly what to do to make garments fit you. This works for any body that you have, any pattern that you might be working on, any clothes. Like, if you're not interested in making clothes from scratch, if you're like, I just want to learn how to do a fitting on ready to wear clothes, we'll get to that. You'll get tips that will help you with that. Everything is focused on fitting and learning this process and these tools. And you'll have written format if that's easier for you. We have video format. We have question platforms. We have a community to help uplift you, to help you keep motivated, connect with others. And it's all completely free, but it's only available for a limited time. So all you got to do, click that link below and sign up, and you should get an email from me. Our community group just opened today. It is held on Facebook. And I know, look, I'm not a fan of Facebook either. I'm going to tell you, like, even just setting up the group, sometimes I'm like, ugh, but it's easy. A lot of people are there. Most people know how to navigate it. When I jump onto Facebook, I just go into my groups. I have a group with my membership, and I have a group for the Facebook group. I don't even spend much time in there. I just go right in my group, and I'm like, ooh, this is my happy place. This is where everybody's doing what I like to do and talking about what I like to talk about. And it's just the easiest way for us to create a safe community where we can all connect. If I could do it on Instagram, I would, but this is Facebook is the most logical place. And especially since we only have it open for a limited time. So I know, I get it. Life happens. Life gets in the way. You work, you have kids, you have family, you have other responsibilities. So that's why we do have it open for that extra week, so that you can catch up on things if you need to later. Everything's recorded. You can watch the replays later as well, because I try to make it as easily accessible. That is my mission. And we do have people joining from all over the world. So different time zones and everything. We have, written things to back it up. So I hope you will join us. The welcome party is Sunday the 14th. We usually I'll add some more decorations. We're going to grab a fancy drink. We're going to come together. I'm going to tell you all the nitty gritty details, ins and outs that you're going to need to know to get the most out of the boot camp. And you know what? There's no pressure. Like, if life gets busy, you have to drop off. That's fine. Take what you can, soak up what you can while this knowledge is available. And then, and just have fun. Just have fun with it. No pressure. That's what I want to offer. There's so much heaviness, and there's so much pressure, and there's so many tough things that happen in life. Fitting and learning about fitting shouldn't be one of them. And it is oftentimes, it is frustrating, and it is something that we start to blame ourselves for. Why doesn't this fit? I'm the problem. You're not the problem. You are not the problem. The problem is the way that we are presented with, you just make this and it'll be perfect, or you just buy this size, you're always this size. It's not how it works. That's not how we're set up in an industry to fail. So I want to give you this missing piece that will change everything for you. It will empower you to be able to make those changes that you need to make to feel comfortable. Everybody deserves to feel amazing in their clothes so that they can show up as their best selves, so that you can express yourself. I mean, I say this all the time, but I really consider people who sew and make their own clothes, we're rebels. We're like, I don't want to just buy what I can buy in the store. Like, I want to make this crazy thing that's in my head, that I have this vision. It's going to look amazing on me. I want to make it out of this fabric because that fabric just, love this fabric. And I want to make it out of that. We're rebels. We don't like to follow what everybody else does. We want to make it ourselves. So I want to give you extra tools to do that, because that's how we show up. And we're like, confidence is the best thing you can ever wear. And you know what makes you feel confident? When you feel good and comfortable in what you're wearing. So that's what the boot camp is all about. I really hope you will join us. Hello from Nashville. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. Join us. Down below, click the link. It's free. You have absolutely nothing to lose. I promise you, it is completely free. You are not locked into anything. You take what works for you. You leave the rest. Make new friends. Make the most of this. Take advantage of this opportunity. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm live, because I'm like, hey, everybody, check out this cool thing that's going on. Don't miss it, because I always hear about it, like right when we're coming, to close up and for this round, everybody's like, oh man, I missed out. I'm not going to get to do it. And then we don't offer it again for another 6 months. So get in while you can. Take advantage of these skills. And if you've taken the boot camp before, you're late to the party. I'm talking about my Fitabulous Fit Bootcamp. You might want to go back and listen to all about it, but it's a free 5-day fitting boot camp that starts on Monday. It's all virtual, and I'm teaching you how to fit, how to do a fitting, the order of how to do a fitting, the process that I've used for over 20 years in my career. And oh my goodness, we have a community that goes along with it. It's all completely free. It's a blast. There's prizes you can win, but it's only available for a limited time. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm talking about it, so that I can tell as many people as possible, so that they don't miss out on this free fitting knowledge that I feel like everybody should have. I hope you'll join us. The link to join us is down below. Completely free. You do have to put your email in, because that's how we deliver all the goods to you. It starts on Monday. There is a welcome party on Sunday. You won't be able to attend live. That's okay. Everything is recorded. So how it works, I'll go through how it works just one more time, since we have somebody who's interested. Sandra's saying, how much time do I need to set aside each day to participate? So the training videos range between 20 and 40 minutes. So every day starting Monday through Friday, you'll get an email from me at 10 a.m. Eastern. That is an email with a pre-recorded training. So you don't have to be sitting at your email waiting for that to come in, and it's not a live session. So you'll get an email with a training video. That's the 20 to 40 minutes, depending on the day and what we're learning that day. And you can watch that video. You can even watch it on like 2 times speed, like 1.5 speed. So it goes a little faster if you're trying to like fit it into your day. But you watch that training video throughout the day. And then later on, every day, Monday through Friday, starting next week, we have a live Q&A session. So every day at 3 p.m. Eastern, we have a live Q&A session that is live. But if you can't join us for the live, it is recorded, and the replay is then posted to the Facebook group after to watch. You can also submit questions beforehand. If you have questions about that training, about fitting in general, about anything, you can post questions in the group, and I will answer those in the recording. So when you watch it later, you can get your answers. So you don't have to join us live. It is a lot of fun if you do join us live, but you don't have to join us live. So those usually last an hour. So you're looking at about 2 hours a day, I would say, to set aside. But remember, if you speed up my training video, that can be a little bit less. If you You don't have to join us for the whole live. It depends how much you want to participate, but about 2 hours a day is what we have available. And there is time and ways to kind of cut some of that out if you don't have time for everything. And let me see. So there's a live Q&A. There is a scavenger hunt that we offer. So there's prizes available if you want to participate in that. We have some super sweet prizes. You can win a little like half scale dress form, some of my favorite books. There's some, you can get my slopers, things like that. And it just, what that does is it kind of helps to motivate and get you excited and involved with the whole boot camp as it's going along. So yeah, you will be able to, and then those replays and all of that is available for another week after that Friday. So it's available for a whole nother week. So if you aren't able to fit everything in, you still have a whole other week to catch up on everything before we take it down again. So yeah, even if you're not able to attend live, and remember that first email, the 10 a.m. email, is a pre-recorded video. So that is, you don't have to show up live for that. That is like, watch it on your lunch break or listen to it while you're driving in the car or washing dishes. We really try to make this as accessible as possible. So the welcome party kicks off on Sunday. That's where we're going to have our fancy drinks. We're going to wear something fun. We're going to hear all the details. We're going to get excited. We're going to be like, woohoo, we're going to do this and get ramped up. And then we kick everything off on Monday is where it starts. So I really hope you will join us. It's free. Okay. So it's free. Even if you can't participate in all of it, I think whatever you can participate in, even if you just watch the training videos and get the worksheets, there are worksheets to go along with every day. You get to keep those, keep those, write notes, keep those for afterwards, take those into your next fitting. But like I said, you only get all of that if you sign up with us and if you join us before we close the doors on the 26th. So I hope to see you there. It is a whole lot of fun every time, lots to learn. And in fact, I just refilled all of these training videos. So there's like extra clarity. I made sure that the volume's good and that like we're putting text on the screen. Like I really am always trying to up my game to make it as easy as possible. Great. I'm so glad you're going to join us. Yay. She said she's going to sign up. And we do cover, just because I mentioned this earlier, but this is a process that I'm teaching. So it's not just one particular thing. I'm teaching a method of how to do a fitting so that every time you work on a project, you are going to feel confident by the time you're actually getting into the project that it's going to be pretty darn close to fitting, what you need it to be. So this does work for men's wear, women's wear, children, anybody, any person, because it is a theory, a process that we are learning. And we do go through an example so that we do it all together. So by the end of the 5 days, you are going to prove to yourself that you can do this. And that is my job. That's my biggest reward. Is I love seeing when people are like, oh my gosh, it suddenly makes sense. It all becomes clear. I know what to do now. I feel so much more confident. Those are all comments that I've gotten every time I've run this boot camp. So join us. The link's below. Can't wait to see you there. I'm going to hop off now, but thank you so much for those of you who've joined me. Thank you, Sandra, for giving us good questions and feedback and being such a great supporter as always. I hope to see you guys in the boot camp. And until then, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.